and welcome back to my channel. Hopefully I can add some happy Jellycat vibes to your day today. Alright guys, so lately I was thinking of what could be a fun Halloween, fall, but more Halloween inspired Jellycat video to do for you guys, and I had an idea. So this is something that I did last year actually, and I did it with one of my Squishmallows. I made my Connor the Cow, I'll pop a picture up right here. I made a Connor the Cow ghost costume for him. And then I had like a little photo shoot and video and everything kind of following that because this was really before I was on YouTube. But I thought it would be pretty fun to give Mr. Bartholomew Bear his own little ghost costume, because unless it was like a long time ago and it's retired, I haven't seen it. I don't think that they've had like a Bartholomew in a ghost costume. I don't know that that's been made, not that I have seen, but since Bart is usually the one that has a bunch of costumes, I thought it would be fun to take one of my medium-sized ones. This is actually the eggplant Bart, like that one, that original one. That's what he originally is. I took that costume on, and I'm going to be making him a ghost costume today and taking it along with me, so let's get started. Alrighty, so this isn't exactly like a tutorial, but you technically, I guess, could follow along and do it yourself, but you know, I can't guarantee great results, so maybe don't follow after me. So we'll see how this goes. But again, like I said, I've already made one of these for my Connor the Cow, but it's Bartholomew's turn. Thought it'd be a fun little Jellycat Halloween thing. So if you are wanting to do this, I have 3 things that you'll need. So obviously, you'll need a Bartholomew. You don't have to do the size. It's just this is the medium-sized Bartholomew, and it is what I know will most likely fit with the costume. You will need an old t-shirt. Now, this is like a grayish colored, like a light white gray colored t-shirt. It's just an old t-shirt that I have that I don't mind cutting up. You can use like a perfectly white one. You could use a colored one, whatever to your heart's desire that you want your ghost costume to be. And you need a trusty pair of scissors. So those are pretty much the main 3 things I'm going to be using throughout this video, and we're just going to see how it goes. So let's get started. So with the t-shirt that I have, there is stuff on the front of it, so I'm actually just going to be using the back of the t-shirt because it's plain. If you had a full plain colored t-shirt that you wanted to use, you can use as much of it as you wanted, and so that kind of goes for if you want to use a bigger Jellycat or not. But I am just going to start by cutting like the t-shirt up, I guess. So I'm cutting the back of the t-shirt off of the front, I guess. I'm separating the two so that I can just use the back for my thing so it doesn't have any logos or anything. You'd also probably, let's see if I can tear this. Yeah, no, not a good idea. So I feel like, for me at least, for some t-shirts that you get, I feel like you could just rip it. It's honestly completely up to you. Again, this is not really a tutorial because I'm no expert in this stuff, and so I'm just going to keep going along with it the way that I feel is best, and I will catch you in a minute when I have this cut out so you don't have to watch me do all that. Alright, so I have cut out a piece of the back of the t-shirt. As you can see, it is not by any means straight. This side is straight because this is where the seam is, but as you can see, this one, not really. I was trying to go around like the sleeves and stuff on this, but again, you honestly can do it however you want. I feel like sometimes because again, I'm literally just using scissors, so I'm not using like a fabric cutter or anything. You're welcome to use that if you want, but I feel like sometimes the like jaggedness of it, like the not straightness of the lines, kind of adds to the fun of the way that the ghost costume falls. But one thing I will say is, like, I just kind of, before I completely cut it off, I kind of judged where like how this would fall over the Bartholomew. So like before I completely committed to cutting it off where I cut it off, I made sure that I had enough fabric to, you know, cover him and kind of just like fully sit over him, kind of like this, I guess. He looks so funny like that. But make sure I had enough like overall to kind of sit over him so that it would fit him before I really commit to the fully cutting of it. Okay, actually with this one, as you can see, his little ears are through the top. Since these are smaller holes because his ears aren't very big, I actually was able to just take that slit that I made with the scissors and pull it to where it would be big enough to go over the ears, and I feel like it turned out pretty good. Look at his little ears, it's so cute. I feel like this thing is definitely a little uneven on a side. Like over here, it's not as even as that side. But I feel like it's really cute. So, ears are done, or like the full shape is kind of done. Ears are done. Now on for the eyes. So these are a little tricky because I will say they weren't perfect on the Connor costume, but Bartholomew's eyes on this guy are a lot smaller than Connor's eyes were. So I'm probably just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna feel around on the costume where the eyes are, and I'm just going to make little slits so that I know where I need to be cutting, I guess, in terms of letting you be able to see the eyes. All right, I have the first eye done. You can kind of see it there. So what I actually ended up doing is where I put the slit, I took it up a little bit and just kind of pinched it into this kind of shape. And then I just cut the end off so it would be more in a circular shape, I guess. But, you know, it's not going to be perfect. But it works enough for the costume. So I just cut that other one. So let's see. The other problem with Bartholomew is it's kind of hard to see his eyes with the fur. But that's kind of how it's turned out. It's pretty cute, I think. Again, they're not always going to sit perfectly where his eyes are. If you know how to do that, if you're a little more savvy than I am and know how to do that, definitely go for it. But that's kind of how it looks right now. I'm considering maybe cutting out a little nose or a little nose hole or a little hole for his nose, because I feel like since the holes are so tiny, it's kind of hard to see them, or if I should cut his eye holes bigger. Okay, so I actually did decide to cut his little eye holes bigger, and I feel like that looks a little better. Again, it's a little hard to see his eyes because his like fur is all up in his eyes, and it's hard to push it out of the way and then put the ghost costume back on him. But I think this looks super, super cute. Little 360 view. I'm still debating on the nose. I just don't know if he needs it. Do you need a nose hole? Okay, since I didn't give Connor a nose hole, I think I am going to leave Bartholomew like this. If you feel like that was a mistake, definitely let me know in the comments below, and maybe I'll go back and give him a little nose hole. But I feel like the ears and the eyes are just perfect, and he just looks so funny. I honestly, since it covers so much of him, I feel like it kind of explains maybe why they don't have they don't already sell a Bartholomew with a ghost costume, because it does kind of cover his full self. But it would be kind of interesting to see what Jellycat would come up with in terms of getting a ghost costume for Bartholomew and all that good stuff. But for now, we are totally happy with making our own little ghost Bartholomew costume. But that is actually all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed following along with me while I make Bartholomew a ghost costume. This was definitely like very improvised. Like I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but I feel like it turned out pretty good, and I'm really pleased with the overall look. You can definitely give me a rating on the costume in the comments below, but overall I feel like it was pretty good. I mean, I guess it was pretty simple. So if this was something you wanted to do, you could even make your own and match with Bartholomew. This could be a good Halloween costume idea, but you never know. So I just think it turned out really cute, and I am loving how Bartholomew is looking. But we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you next time. Bye!